Great tone setter tonight. Ryan Ammons pitched very well. Talked a lot about just point of emphasis of just attacking and throwing a lot of strikes, a relentless attack on the strike zone, and that's what he did for 5 straight innings and really kept our defense engaged in it. I thought our defense played very well, fundamentally sound. A couple of nice double plays. Web gem catch out in the outfield, but just very, very solid. And then offensively, felt like it was a great dynamic combination of speed and power, some fireworks with the home runs, 2 of course by Blake, but the stolen bases, the extra 90s, the just applying pressure. So I thought just a complete game and a great tone setter, not just for the weekend, but for the season and for the way we want Clemson baseball to look and feel. And I really appreciate the crowd and the energy and the packed DKS. So a lot of fun and just excited about Clemson baseball and the way we played tonight.
All right, questions for players?
Ryan, it's different getting ready to be a starter as opposed to being a reliever. But once you get out there on the mound, is it just baseball? Was it comfortable, familiar for you?
Well, what a job by freshman Jacob Gerald today.
Yeah.
Really stepped up. Was one of the hardest workers on our team, and to see him thrive in his opportunities today, super cool to see Jacob out there and looking like a true vet out there when he was catching behind the plate.
Blake, I know you had a 2 home run game last season against Miami, but how cool was it to do that today in the opener?
Yeah, it was just awesome to see DKS packed, and credit goes to the coaching staff and everyone who came up with a great game plan for us. And just to start, it was fun. It was fun to be back.
Did you realize you're the first player since '07 to do that in a season opener? What's that feel for you in this environment, his first game as the coach, and to come up big like that?
It's just awesome. It's awesome to be here. It's awesome to be back playing, and great feeling to get the win.
Did you feel like pregame, like, man, the wind's kind of gusting out to the left a little bit, I might have a chance?
Not really.
No?
Just another game.
Ryan, I noticed you're using the weight there in between innings. Is that something new for you, or have you always done that?
It's just something Belly decided be a good idea for some of the pitchers who can't or trying to get ready in between innings, stay ready. Last thing we want to do as a pitching staff is to have a really quick inning and come back and sit down and kind of get relaxed. So it was a good idea from Coach Belly to decide to be able to pick up and stay loose in between innings.
Blake, 6 walks, just 2 strikeouts, the aggressiveness that you showed. A little different mindset for the hitters this year?
Oh yeah, definitely. We're on the go. We're on the attack. We're going to take bases. We're going to do anything we can to get in scoring position and score runs. So.
Have you ever been a part of a game where there's 11 stolen bases?
I've not. No. So it was awesome. Good start.
Did you guys see something in the catcher, the pitcher, the way that they were coming to the plate? You said, yeah, we can be aggressive against this guy?
For sure. It's just our mentality. As soon as we got there, we knew we were on the attack, and we're going to take bases and we're going to score runs. That's how we play. It's Clemson baseball.
Ryan, as a pitcher, kind of put yourself in their pitcher's shoes. How much pressure does that put on you when the other team's able to steal bases the way y'all were?
Well, I think it's all about throwing strikes, being able to pound the strike zone. And I felt like our whole entire staff did that today. And that was the reason the guys that came after me gave us a chance to win later in the game. So.
Any other questions for the players? All right, thank you, players. We'll excuse you.
Thank you.
All right, now questions for Coach.
Coach, just obviously you've been here since last June, but to finally get this first W, what does this mean for you to come out here and get this first W as a Clemson head coach?
There's been so many great teams and so many great coaches. It just feels great to just sad to, this storied program, and I just feel like we've got deep roots here, and got the opportunity to start coaching here, and so you know, just want to, it means an awful lot to me. And I care a lot about this place and about Clemson and the C and Tiger Paw and Clemson baseball, of course, and just want the program to be awesome. And I think Clemson baseball rightfully belongs on top of college baseball. So it's more about just doing everything in our power to make sure Clemson baseball restores itself where it belongs and get this program to win its first national championship. But it's days like today, and it's all the preparation in between that will allow that to happen.
Coach, could you have drawn this one up any better? I mean, you play extremely clean game, no one walk given up by the pitchers, and only 3 strikeouts by the batters, no errors, and then you hit the long ball too.
Our guys, you know, all the credit goes to them, and they, you know, I told them I was proud of them. For it's one thing to talk about the way we're going to do it; it's another thing to go out and execute it. And I thought they were outstanding tonight in all phases, pitching, defense, offense, and just a mindset that just they were going to apply pressure and be on the attack, and that's what it looked like.
Is this how you imagined this day would be when you were building up to it, that it would be this way, this atmosphere, that kind of game?
The crowd was awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was envisioning, because 21 years ago, the crowd here was hostile, and playing here, being in the other dugout, which was not a fun experience for three years at Maryland, but we were here in 2011, and that was coming off the World Series year, and the crowd was even more hostile. And so I just, you know, I envision Doug Kingsmore Stadium, when teams leave here, they're saying, that's the toughest place we've ever played. That environment is so hostile, man. We don't want to go back there. And so it's great to see a packed house or close to packed house. But I know there's so much more, and we'll get this place rocking for sure. I think play like that, people want to come watch.
Eric, with the stolen bases, like y'all weren't still in 11 game obviously last year at Michigan. I mean, this is not. I'm sorry, this is an aggressive mindset. It seems like that y'all had tonight. That isn't necessarily always how you coach. Is it the speed on this team? Is it just wanting to have that mindset to come out and kind of do it from the start here?
I think you try to weaponize an offense to score runs. You never want to be one-dimensional. You don't want to only rely on the long ball. You don't want to only be a bunt run type team. You want to be able to do it all. And so for a lot of times that's just, you know, either taking what the opponent gives you, taking what the conditions of the field or the ballpark give you. And tonight it was the conditions were favorable for the long ball, and you know, it just so happened that we were able to capitalize on the base pass with the stolen base. So we always will run an offense. The running of the offense is about a run-scoring offense. And so we just always want to weaponize our guys to be able to be dynamic, to score in multiple ways. And when you can do multiple ways, you can run and hit the long ball, you know, that usually is conducive for double-digit scoring and high offense. And so, you know, and it's, you know, because of the conditions, we didn't want to back off either, you know, and they were putting a little pressure on. They had runners on there late, and it's just, you know, a fly. You didn't have to hit a fly ball very hard tonight to get it out to left. So we felt like we needed to keep the pedal down the whole game, and luckily we were able to do that with the stolen base and some timely hits and some big hits.
A couple of weekend starters came out of the bullpen tonight. What does that say about the competitiveness of this pitching staff?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, talked a lot about the depth of this team, and there's a lot of depth on that pitching mound. And for 2 starters, Nick Hoffman and Nick Clayton, to pitch in relief tonight is a testament to that depth. And we've got a lot of guys who have, some young guys with 2 sophomores in the rotation the rest of the weekend, and another sophomore and a freshman that are also right there. And so it just speaks to the physical talent on this roster and the way these guys have developed. We've got a support staff here and a strength and conditioning program and a lot of things that are second to none. So these kids are very lucky to have the resources and the facilities that they do and the support they have administratively, so that they can really maximize their potential. And that's, you know, what this is about. You know, talk about team success being defined as, did you reach your potential? Did the team reach its potential? Did each individual reach their potential? And there's no excuses. We're not lacking anything, and you know, when we play well, we feel like we got a chance to win.
Do you have an update on Cooper, or are there any other guys that are kind of banged up right now?
Yeah, a few guys banged up. You know, Corbett was still kind of nursing a high ankle sprain, and Willie T still kind of coming back. You know, I was yelling at him to stay at first on the double. But Cooper will be in there tomorrow, and but yeah, I mean it's you know, they're all short-term stuff, so don't feel like it's anything that's going to hold anyone out long-term.
Probably. We talk a lot about Cade Price's power, but leading him off, why is that a slot you feel like you want to
Yeah, I mean he'll probably be in a 2-hole tomorrow, but you know, just like him up early, the leadoff spot. You know, for a guy like him, you know, maybe he gets a first pitch fastball to lead off the game. You know, we had a kid at Michigan that led off named Jordan Wogu, and when you have that power speed threat and a guy who, you know, up until Caden's last 2 at bats, I thought he did a really good job with his plate decisions and, you know, laying off some pitches. You know, you saw him put the ball in play with 2 strikes, and you know, he had a couple of strikeouts there at the end, but just feel like, you know, he's a guy that we want to get more at bats too, and hitting in the top of the order, maybe get an extra at bat here or there, but also, you know, when you're hitting in the top of the order, and you know, you got a chance to drive a ball to start the game, and I think as an opposing pitching coach, you know, just I defer to Coach Bellinger a lot of times, and he talks about who it's tough on our team to call